So the question at hand today is whether to buy or build software components within the healthcare or radiology industry. When you build a platform, you probably need to lean on both. Buying means I go out and I buy a highly specialized piece of software because I want to achieve the very front line of what's possible without spending years of development to get there. And building is when you really want to hold the domain and the knowledge of your software internally. At least when it comes to Collective Minds and our value proposition, we really need a mix of these two things. So the answer to the question is we need both. Our core proposition is all about the workflows and the experience we enable for our customers, mainly the radiologists, medical doctors, where we want to own that domain, we want to build all of those workflows, we want to build the core structure of the platform. At the same time, we want to be at the forefront of advanced algorithms, let's say an algorithm that analyzes heart function. For us to catch up with building the very best of breed there would take years, and a team we simply can't afford. So in order to stay at the forefront, we want to buy those components and weave them into the overall platform. This is our philosophy. We want to be the very best at our core, our workflows, and we weave in best of breed components that we buy into the software. At the end of the day, when you need to make this decision whether to buy or to build, it's all about your company's value proposition. Think about what's the very core value you are providing. If the piece of software you're developing is part of that core value, you should own it yourself. You should have internal teams that holds that knowledge. If it's in the peripheral components, then you're absolutely fine to buy because that can accelerate you to the very forefront of science. Outsourcing in its traditional sense, I'm not a big fan of, where you lift basically a portion of your system out to a third party that builds it for you, because you lose all the ownership of the knowledge of that piece of your system, and there's a power imbalance between you and the outsourcing party that appears that I'm not a big fan of. Other forms of outsourcing is perfectly okay when you basically weave in one or two individuals into an existing team you have internally in order to augment their capacity during certain time frames. This works perfectly well because then the knowledge is still retained internally and you can weave these individuals into the ways of working you already have internally. But it's quite a different model. It's not about externalizing a full portion of your software, it's about augmenting your own capacity.